Right, it says I am live on my end.
Just gonna double check.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. Let's see if you're good. And I think we are good.
We're all good?
Yep.
All right, then. Well, welcome back to another live stream with myself, Dwayne, the Captain Coffee, and a good friend of the channel, Nate from Thwip Media. How you doing, my friend? How you going?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Nervous as hell. But yes, as you can tell, this is my live stream for my phase 3 of my Marvel cumulative ending sort of thing of our Marvel films. And yes, as you can tell, I am slightly bricking it, and I'm not too sure how the hell it's going to go, but yeah, we'll see how it goes, sort of thing. But we will get straight into it. But have you got an icebreaker? I love these.
I do. This one's a bit different. I thought it'd be interesting to kind of discuss this because it's something that we haven't really talked about at all. So, what is your favorite MCU score?
Oh, Jesus, wet.
So the music in the movies or shows.
Right. First one comes straight off my head is all of Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
The music in that was just, so powerful, so hard hitting, just wow.
The Winter Soldier
Absolutely
theme is
Yeah.
terrifying. Yeah.
It's that screech and just like, "Wee," so good. I literally could listen to that all day long because it's just so powerful. And I got to have a nice mention to what's it called, First Avenger as well, where
Classic.
it's got the old show tunes and "Come to Save the Day."
Yeah.
Just all that. It's just so good. But yeah, the one that always sticks with me, Winter Soldier, my friend. But
Nice.
what about yourself?
I mean, obviously it's going to be the Spider-Man movies, but I think Spider-Man No Way Home was really... I think Michael Giacchino is just a really good composer too. He's like the next, I think, John Williams of our generation for film composers.
Damn.
But yeah, he brought in all the cues from the old movies for the villains. He has a really good Spider-Man theme for the MCU.
Yeah.
It's so emotional. When Aunt May dies, the music just is very quiet, and then it picks up as he's leaving, like he's forced to leave her behind. And then just the music when he's saying goodbye to MJ and Ned, it's so powerful there too, and that scene always makes me tear up. So
Yeah. Well, I can understand because it's one of them ones that's just really hard hitting. It's like just everything's coming to a crescendo, and
yeah, like it's so quiet and like very like spaced out. For like you hear the theme, but it's like one note, and it's like you're like holding on to it. It's so good. And another one is like any of the Guardians ones. I love the Guardians.
yeah. Some of the musics they come out for them, it's just like, god damn it, that's really nice.
And the Avengers too. You can't go wrong with that.
Oh yeah. That's just sort of a given, isn't it? Really, when you come to the Avengers now, you just know they're going to be damn good.
Yeah.
Right, here we go then. Right, so to start off my phase 2, obviously in phase 2 you saw that the Dark Avengers were coming. So to start off my phase 3, it's nothing to bring them in just yet. They're in the background. They're ready to appear any moment. But my first film in my phase 3 is The Hulks.
Ooh.
Now it's going to be an origin story with Bruce Banner and obviously She-Hulk. The main villain for my Hulk film is going to be Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross. And how it's going to go, obviously, you guess his powers in the gamma ray explosion. He's going to go on a massive tear through like New York and where he's having this base sort of thing. And he's going to come straight into conflict, straight away there and then with the Avengers we've got. So obviously we'll have Cap, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Hawkeye, Hank Pym. He's gone back to his Ant-Man persona, because obviously the old Yellow Jacket was actually a Skrull that we found out. Wolverine and Daredevil. So obviously we're going to have a massive battle with all them lot after he's had his explosion and become the Hulk. They're going to obviously subdue him, and Jennifer Walters is going to be there trying to help her cousin, make sure he's okay in that lot. She's going to get hurt. She's going to need a blood transfusion. So obviously that will transfer him into She-Hulk. She'll have all the powers like she does in the series, where she's can go hulked up, but obviously still keep her persona and everything like that sort of thing. So I've took bits from that series as well, where she's still going to be the lawyer and she can protect people and stuff like that. So what I have is, after they've subdued Hulk, they're going to obviously incarcerate him and he's going to be put on trial. Obviously, Jennifer Walters is going to defend her cousin, and she's going to have Matt Murdock there, not knowing he's Daredevil, obviously, as help as well. Now, they'll have the trial, everything's going to be fine, he's going to get off sort of thing. This is going to tick off Thunderbolt Ross, and he's going to want to have that power to become his own Hulk to stop him. And he gets, obviously, backing from the government to do this. He'll get back in, he'll get the serum, and he'll be able to get some of his blood that obviously has been spilt in the big battle sort of thing. He'll use that to transform himself into the Red Hulk, and he'll go on a rampage to draw out Banner. Obviously, Banner's been freed now. He's just living his life, realizes he sees this, and he transforms, he gets angry, comes back into the Hulk. They have a massive fight, and he's just wrecked the joints out. The Avengers are on standby just in case he can't subdue Thunderbolt Ross. Obviously, Thunderbolt Ross gets subdued. He sort of powers down, and he looks around and sees the damage and torture and messed up he's done sort of thing, and just goes right, I need to disappear. I need to go because I can't be causing people into trouble sort of thing. So he asks the Avengers, and Iron Man in particular, if he can have a ship just to disappear. The post-credit scene is he puts in a remote destination in Alaska and stuff like that. So he's really out the way, nothing can harm him, it's fine. Puts in them coordinates, but all of a sudden the coordinates are not going that way. And the jet sort of transforms into a rocket of some sorts. And he just goes straight up. Then we end it there. That's the first film of my Phase 3. What do you think?
I think it's really cool. Again, with mine in Phase 3, I had the Hulk Phase 2, I had the Hulk and She-Hulk team up. And I think that's something that the movies should do. It just makes sense that they're two iconic characters, and it's a shame they've never shared the screen together in a movie. And I think you've set up a really cool event coming. It's one that I think the MCU could be leaning towards in a side thing. It sure seems that way with, again, Thunderbolt Ross being in the MCU, and then you've got him in this too. I love the Jennifer Walters, Matt Murdock working together without knowing that they're superheroes. I think that's a really cool touch that you added. And I thought you were going to say Alaska, and then he was going to crash somewhere in between, and then he'll come across the Alpha Flight. That's where my brain was going. But yeah, I think this setup you're going is very, very cool.
It's one of them stories that what I'm setting up, because let's say part one of that setup, maybe further down the line in this phase, part two of that setup, if we ever did more, would be long. But just having it as he's just a rampaging monster at the moment, and he sees the devastation, he's I need to sort myself out and figure out who I am and what my abilities are, sort of thing. But yes, my second film, this one is not an origin story. This one is just going to be how he is straight away. It is Black Panther.
Ooh, yes.
And This one is going to be building strong ties with the X-Men because he's going to marry Storm.
Okay.
And he's wanting to get allies and build up his nation of Wakanda and just know that people are welcome in here, sort of thing. The main villain for this will be Namor. Now, Namor is looking for vibranium to help Doctor Doom with some unbreakable armor.
Okay.
So, obviously, in the film, he'll be trying to infiltrate and storm Wakanda to get the vibranium out lot. They'll obviously be able to infiltrate Wakanda. He gets some of the vibranium as he gets as Black Panther finds him, defeats him, gets help from the X-Men, Susan Storm, to repel him. But he does get out of Wakanda with some vibranium. And this post-credit scene, you'll see Namor delivering the vibranium to the Cable and to Doom specifically, going, "Here's the stuff you need. Let's see if it works out in the end." And then you'll see another post-credit scene where he's working at a bench, making more armor for himself. That's more indestructible. And that's my second film.
I think that sounds really cool. Having T'Challa and Storm together. That's something I miss doing in mine. But I think that's really cool for you. Who knows, like maybe I could say like they were together in the past and T'Challa's moved past her, but yeah, I think the whole Black Panther and people trying to get vibranium from him is like, it's a cool concept. You could do so much with that, with who's trying to take it from him, what that means for Wakanda, what it means for him as a king. And I think you've done a really cool setup here. I completely forgot Namor was actually in that team of villains. That's why I was like, wait, Namor is doing that. Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. He's in that team. So yeah, that's really cool, and I'm interested to see what Doom's setting his armor up for, because obviously in mine he was trying to do the same thing. So interested to see what's going on here.
Well, it's just I'd like to see that connection between Black Panther and the X-Men and stuff like that, because again, in the comics it's happened a bit sort of thing. They've had that marriage and they've had a strong bond, but you didn't really see it anywhere in like films or MCU or anything like that sort of thing. So I wanted to like really put it to the forefront and go, no, actually, there have been a very cohesive group together, the Black Panther as well as the X-Men. So I just wanted to have that on show to go, actually, no, look, this is what's what sort of thing. It needs to be on the forefront. So, right, my next film in Phase 3 will be Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme. Now, again, this is not an Origins film. It's just going to be how he is sort of thing. So he's going to be like milling in the background. And the main villain for this is going to be Doctor Doom. And he's going to go to Reed Richards and go, look, somebody's been dabbling in some dark arts. I need your help to locate where he is in Latveria, to go and stop him and take this dark power and magic he's got building from him. So they look for like spikes and stuff where he is in Latveria and that lot. They managed to get like Reed Richards has been working on like teleportation portal sort of thing, similar. I was thinking to the ones that he's seen in Doctor Strange with the big blue square, and he just opened it up like that. So I was thinking about having them like teleportation devices. They managed to get in to Latveria, but they're stuck outside the castle. So obviously you got the whole Fantastic Four there, as well as Doctor Strange, trying to find ways to get into the castle. They managed to get in, confront Doom. He's built up this dark magic and power now to stand a chance against Doctor Strange. Again, they have a massive battle and like 2 and 4 sort of thing. They realise he's got the dark hold. So what they do is they manage to take the dark hold away from Doom, but he's still absorbed and got too much power in him. He sends all the Doom bots after him, and they have to escape quickly out of Latveria. They go back to the Baxter building. They realise, right, we're going to need to keep more of a close eye on him because something big's happening. He's getting too much power. How he's managed to get the Darkhold is beyond me. So Reed and Doctor Strange sort of go to a side as the others are resting, and they just speak to each other saying, we might need to deal this on our own. A post-credit scene comes out. You have this big round table. Reed sits down and says, right, this is the first meeting of the Illuminati. We've got rid of the big green guy. Now let's talk out some other things. And he's panned round to see Iron Man, Professor X, Black Panther, and Doctor Strange. And that's where I leave it there.
Very nice. I wasn't expecting a Doctor Strange Fantastic Four team up. I think that's really cool. And that's very different, having Doctor Doom as the villain in a Doctor Strange movie, because there's a comic series where they work together and that explores Doom's past, and Doctor Strange finds out where he's come from. I thought that's the direction you were going for a second. But I think what you're building up with Doom becoming more powerful, he's got the Darkhold power, he's obviously setting up something very bad, and now the Illuminati's together. I think that's really cool. And yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes, where the villains end up fitting into this again, because you've got the Dark Avengers in one spot, you got Doctor Doom in one end. I'm interested to see how it all ties together.
As well, I had that post-credit bit as well because I wanted to have the Illuminati in there to show that obviously it links to Hulk. Now, Hulk's machine didn't just magically knacker up on its own. You know that now that the Illuminati and Starks told them how bad he is, so they've sent him away, sort of thing. That lot as like a fail-safe to go, right, he's gone. We ain't got to worry about him anymore. Hopefully he'll never be come back to see again, sort of thing. So he's like, shit, right, okay. Why they sent him off and that lot? And is there any repercussions they might see down the line? But yes, my next film is Iron Man Extremis.
Ooh.
Now, Tony, after getting his armor taken away from him from Dynamo, not Dynamo. I can't think what my Berlin villain was now in this phase 2.
Pretty sure it was Crimson Dynamo.
Crimson Dynamo, that was it. I knew this one beforehand. So after seeing somebody take his armor away, he don't want that to happen again. So he's going through different trials and different suits, similar to how he was in Iron Man 3, of having all the suits come to him and to know that he's the only one that can have them. As you pan away, you have just 3 blokes in a barn with this big high-tech shield box in front of him. They talk about Mr. Robbins, who got the equipment for him. Now, if you know who Mr. Robbins is, he's the Hood. They're talking about how he's got this special serum in front of him to make themselves stronger. One bloke comes and volunteers. All you know is his name to be Malin. Give him the injection. He's like, right, go on then. You go first. See how it goes. He takes it. All of a sudden, he starts spasming out. Just got contorting on the floor. Falls on the floor. Looks like he's dead. All of a sudden, he's gone into a cocoon. It's like, what the hell's going off here now? Pan 3 days, you realise he's broke out of this cocoon and he is full of life. He is full of rage and he's like massively strong and just can do like 10 times more than what he could do beforehand. So saying, right, sod it, come on then. Let's go on a bank heist. Let's just try this out a bit, just around the local area, see what happens. They go out, literally wreck this bank up. You see a news broadcast and everything saying, bank robbery in progress. Who can come and save them? Police can't do anything because it's just stuff is bouncing off this Malin and he's just indestructible. So Iron Man goes, right, okay, let's try this new suit out. He's going to bring it together and see what it's like. So he goes there, tries to stop him, takes the other 2 guy out, perfectly fine. But all of a sudden, he comes up against this Malin and he gets absolutely wrecked. They find the serum in the back of his truck, the 3 blokes' truck. The cops take that away, but Iron Man is getting just destroyed and literally hammering him to the ground. Tries to beam him, nothing. Unibeam, nothing. Literally comes to an inch of his life again, beaten up, and he manages to just bang him away, takes him off. They go scurrying away. Maya Hansen, the doctor that knew about this, is there on the scene because she's realised, hang on a minute, my serum's gone that was helping out S.H.I.E.L.D. Why is that gone all of a sudden? They go in there, trying to bring Iron Man back, tries to revive him, resuscitate him, and get him back okay again. And he's like, no, I need something else. I need something more to help me be as strong as him. This suit is nothing. This suit is nothing compared to him. So he tells her to give him some of the serum, but she needs him to weaken it a bit. She takes some things out and tries to weaken it for him. He injects him. Looks like Stark is dead, and this like S.H.I.E.L.D. hospital they've took him away to. It starts conjecturing and like going nuts again, like Malin did, and all of a sudden he goes into a cocoon. He goes back to his past of becoming the weapons dealer and then becoming Iron Man himself, facing the Crimson Dynamo, what happened with the Avengers and the Secret Invasion. He knows that he needs to be better on himself. So after the 3 days are gone, Malin's disappeared and he's wreaking havoc on other banks and other places of importance to S.H.I.E.L.D., stealing more equipment and more high-tech arsenals for some other place. So as he pops out of his cocoon, he just stands in front of her and goes, right, it's worked, watch this. All of a sudden, out of his hollow bones, this exoskeleton comes crawling up his arm. He is the suit. He gets the suit. There's like a box, sees the suits, comes straight to him. He's got no thinking, he's just telepathically talking to him. Comes straight to him. He's more dynamic, he's more quicker, he's more stronger. He goes after Malin, tries to fight him away, gets the other two. They're all gone again because they're just knackered. And he literally pummels Malin to a inch of his life. He doesn't want to kill him, but the only way to stop him is to kill him. So he kills him, put a hole straight through his heart, and he just knows, right, these need to be taken out of their hands. Keep them safe, and put them in Stark Tower so they're out of the way. He goes back, thinks about what he's done, and just goes to himself, right, that's one problem out of the way. They need to not go into the hands of it again. Post-credit scene is Norman Osborn in front of this massive helicarrier. And all it says with big bright lights on it, Hammer. And that's how it ends up.
That's very interesting. You said the villain's name is Malin?
Yeah.
I've never heard of them before.
He's literally pretty much a one and done villain for Iron Man. And it's literally in that Extremist comic book series.
I'm just looking them up just to see.
He's literally like, he's literally like just a normal bloke. He takes that Extremist, and then he just sort of transforms. He like beams and everything like that.
Okay. Very interesting.
They say it's not somebody you really hear about, that sort of thing.
Yeah, because I look him up, and then there's pictures of Aldrich Killian as well. So
yeah.
It seems like he was inspired by Malin then. That's very cool.
Yeah.
The whole Tony and the exoskeleton, was that also from the comic series? Okay. I haven't read that yet, but I know it's like the art in it is so good.
Yeah. Well, I actually, when I was back at college, I did one of my media studies on that comic book series and how, because like they pretty much took that as like how he went to Afghanistan and stuff like that sort of thing. And the origin story for Iron Man was literally very similar to that. And I worked in my media studies like coursework of showing how similar that they've done it from that comic, that series into the film sort of thing. Because like his very big first suit as well is literally like that comic where he has the big thing he suits out when he has that flashback.
The Mark 1?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So when he has that flashback I talked about, in that flashback there, that's where you see him in that big Mark 1 suit out there. And I was like, that's a comic book series. Again, bit spoilers for when we do a comic book thing. That's a series that I've always loved. And you never really see anything like that sort of thing. In the comics, you've seen him have the suit come towards him, but having like an skeleton suit in his bones and letting him just come out and creep over him. I always found that fascinating in that comic. I just thought, no, do you know what? We'll have that in this to make him an even superior one, and then have like the hood as well from the Cable, sending these goons off just to get some more equipment and stuff like that for things that maybe come in for them later on. So yeah, it was a nice idea coming together with my comic as well as that. So
yeah, it's very interesting. Again, the setup with Hammer coming into it, that's really cool. Interested to see what approach you take with that, because there's a couple different ways you can go about that character. So I'm interested to see what comes of that. But yeah, the exoskeleton thing is kind of cool. Like, he doesn't have to wear the armor just comes to him and it's a part of him. Yeah, that's something that I don't think, well, they probably would have, but the movies, they didn't come close to doing anything like that with Extremis. They just focused on the experiment and experiment gone wrong kind of thing. But I like what you're setting up here. It's very cool.
When that third film got on my tits and really wound me up like that, it was just so annoying that they had a really good concept, and I thought, yeah, brilliant, they're going to go with the comics, so they're going to get him to inject it and make him heal himself and stuff. And then when they didn't, and then he was supposed to be the Mandarin, and it was just,
I still enjoy
really
it. It's just the Mandarin thing is an issue in it.
Oh yeah,
like,
massively.
It's still fun. It's just,
oh yeah,
the Mandarin is a bit of an issue in it.
It's one of the weaker films, I'd say, in the MCU, and that sort of thing. Not as bad as the Eternals, but it's not far off that.
I'd say it's better than Thor: Love and Thunder, though. Everything's better than Thor: Love and
Thunder. Really?
Everything is better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
I adored that film. It was brilliant. I love that.
I can't stand it.
That does surprise me. Okay. That might be worth another chat another time. So something like that. I was surprised with that, dude. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Hang on. I need a drink after that. That's proper thrown me. That as. I was not expecting that at all. What the hell? Wow. Okay. Yeah. Right. Anyway. Our next film in the fifth film in my phase 3 is Deadpool Killer No Filler.
Ooh.
This one will be an origin story, and I've put it here because I really couldn't add too much to this because it's going to be very similar to Ryan Reynolds' one. He's done it so well, and I couldn't really add anything to it. But I wanted Deadpool in my thing, so I've got him. That he's obviously changed to Deadpool, which feels he can do anything, but he wants to be back to himself again, sort of thing. So he goes to the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, asks Magneto, asks Emma Frost, asks them to help him and heal him. So they go, yeah, all right, and we'll help you and heal you. There's another Shield warehouse that we need you to go and just get some stuff for, isn't it? We'll help you out. Or what you need is in that Shield warehouse. So again, they go and raid the Shield warehouse, get all load of stuff and everything, manage to get out. But then as they go to another one, the X-Men appear. They've figured out that crap's going down, realises that what the hell's going off? It's one of our own sort of types doing all this damage. So the X-Men and the evil Brotherhood of Mutants have another fight, but this time with Deadpool, and Wolverine absolutely decapitates and slaughters Deadpool. He's done. He's dead. All of a sudden, you go into this hazy dream world where he meets Lady Death, and he falls in love with Death. And he's like, "Oh, it's fine. I've wanted this. I can stay here all this time." She goes, "Well, no, actually, you can't, because you can never die. But this isn't a burden. This is a gift for you, because these people you're working with are not going to help you at all. You need to go to the other side." And she sends him back down to earth and that lot. It comes pieces on the floor. He manages to glue himself back together in that lot. And he's like, "Oh crap, right, okay. I thought I was done. I thought my story was over." Because, right, okay, she says, I need to go to the other side. So, right, okay then. So he goes to the X-Men. Wolverine's about to decapitate him again. He's like, whoa, hang on a minute. How about we like work together in that lot, and you can help me because I want revenge on the evil mutants, Brotherhood of Mutants. And a post-credit scene, he's standing there. He's got this new like top in front of him, and he wiggles it and goes, "Now that's what my team's going to be called, X-Force." And it ends it there.
That's very cool. Like you said, like I don't know how you top the first Deadpool movie and telling the origin because it's like so well done. What you've done is so different though because you actually have X-Men characters in it. Obviously, the movie has Colossus in it, but you have Wolverine and you have the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, which is really cool, and Death, which I was not expecting at all. I think that's really cool though how he gets to interact with a Celestial like that, and she kind of says, "No, you can't do this because you have healing factors, so you have to go back down there." Um, and again, I'm so excited for Deadpool 3 and the Deadpool and Wolverine team up, and you've got that in yours as well. I think what you're setting up with the two of them going against Magneto and his team is going to be so cool. And then setting up X-Force as well. That's going to be really cool. I'm interested to see what your team looks like compared to the one I had in my franchise, but yeah, very interested to see where this X-Men story kind of goes.
Well, it's just I love like in the comics you read about the interactions with Deadpool and Death. I just love that sort of really weird dynamic sort of thing. He's like in love with this like celestial higher being, and he's like, no, you just can't do it. It's not going to work. You've got to go, sort of thing. So I was like, I've got to put that in there, sort of thing, because it's just no, just got to go. Bye bye, sort of thing. So yeah, but all these characters I'm having build up and are part of this next thing. Now this is film 6. This is like the big sort of halfway point shebang sort of thing. And if you can see behind me, it is Avengers Civil War. Now, this, again, I've tried to go as close to the comic as possible with this because I loved this series and I wanted it to have as many characters in that as possible to go and fight this massive fight. So if you know what Civil War is, obviously the two sides go together. It's similar to the film, but on a scale tenfold sort of thing. So with this one, I thought it was a bit bad to have an explosion near the school. I couldn't have an explosion near the school that lot. It's a bit much. So I've had it similar to, again, in the film where it's a hospital. They're going after these like low-level villains, nothing special. They go to near this hospital, and this villain called Nitro just blows up and wants to take as many people out as possible. In doing so, he doesn't take any of the Avengers out or anything like that, because the Avengers are obviously gone to this to try and get it. Blows up. Doesn't take any out, blows this hospital up. Now, throughout all the other phases and all the other films that I've put, you've seen the tension from the public against the heroes, and they've been like, no, this got to stop soon because it's bad, sort of thing. Oh, way up.
Yeah, I just see you got a comment there.
Yeah. Watch the background. I haven't got the sound switched on though. Don't worry about it. Dynamite Harry, we'll have you on the channel again soon though. We'll have you on the channel soon, my friend, because you're a brilliant person. But yes, yeah. So he doesn't take anybody out, and obviously the public reaction to all these heroes and all the things that's going off is getting worse and worse. So Iron Man's gone to the government, and the government have gone like, look, you need to put something into place where this has got to stop. And now we are going to create the Superhero Registration Act. All the people that are classed as superheroes or enhanced individuals need to sign this act or be put up in government confines to do training and be identified as proper government personnel. Now, again, if you know the comics, some people of this are against it completely. And you have Captain America, Black Panther, Storm, Cyclops, Daredevil, Wolverine, Goliath, the Punisher, Hercules, Cloak, Luke Cage. They are all against it. They've refused and they've gone, no, we're going off. You want us, you all come and find us, you all come and get us. The heroes, though, that have registered with the Superhero Registration Act is obviously Ant-Man, Hank Pym. You've got Spider-Man, for now. Sue Storm, for now. Human Torch, for now. Reed Richards, Blade, Deadpool, Black Widow, She-Hulk, Maria Hill, and Dum Dum Dugan.
No Iron Man?
Now, yeah, Iron Man's in it. I said Iron Man.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, Iron Man's there. So, to show how serious they are with this Registration Act, they have a big presentation and go, Thwip, I am Spider-Man. My name is Peter Parker. Everybody, the cameras, everything's going nuts. You see pictures of Aunt May just like, what the hell? And you have J. Jonah Jameson going ballistic and like saying, right, we'll have him, we've got this. And through all that lot, they are trying to find out where, obviously, these secret, unregistered heroes are. So they set traps and try to lure them in, sort of thing. And in a small sort of flashback area, you've got Reed Richards talking to Hank Pym about, right, we had all these heroes together. I've made a clone of a particular hero that I've seen in the past from some DNA that I got from S.H.I.E.L.D. This clone is going to be Thor. Now, in the battle, they'll be able to catch them in this like remote, warehouse, stuff like that sort of thing, along with like a remote, desolate area. They managed to capture them there because they send out a distress signal to say that they need help from superheroes. The Secret Avengers go there, realise, hang on a minute, there's nobody here. The registered heroes come in, try to capture them, and have a massive fight sort of thing. They bring in Goliath, goes supersonic, or not supersonic, but super high, try and stop the fight in the background, tries to take them all out and tries to get the heroes away. At this point, Reed Richards snaps his fingers and brings in his Thor killer clone. He comes in and he literally shoots a bolt straight through Goliath. Goliath is down. He's the big death in this. It rocks both sets of heroes. The unregistered heroes manage to escape and go away, but then it's just left with the registered heroes looking at this ridiculously giant big body on the light. Right, okay, I might have overstepped the mark here, sort of thing. Spider-Man is distraught, can't believe what's gone off. Here's look, I can't do this. I didn't think there was going to be any killing. You can't. He's gone. So then what Reed Richards does is get, again, a load of little minor league super villains and sends her, right, you lot, you're registered to us, go after him, find him. We can't have somebody as strong and as powerful as Spider-Man coming along. So you're like Jack-o'-lantern and little minor heroes like villains like that. Send him off. They manage to find him, find Spider-Man in like these underground sewers sort of thing. Literally beat him almost to a pulp. Managed to almost get him. Where all of a sudden the Punisher comes out, literally guns him down, takes him out, gets Spider-Man and takes him to one of the underground places that the hero registrations have got. Puts in there, look, shows Captain America, Spider-Man's joining your side as well as me. They've got villains on their side to do their dirty walk. I'm not having it. We can't do this sort of thing. So, as he sees that, all of a sudden, Captain America's bringing his own goons and villains in, sort of thing, little minor league villains. So Punisher's like, no, I'm not having this. He guns them down as well. They're gone. They're dead. Captain America loses it and goes, no, we need everybody against this Registration Act, if they're heroes or villains. So Captain America actually beats him to a pulp and almost kills Punisher. And he's like, why aren't you fighting back? Why aren't you fighting back? And Punisher's like, no, you're a hero. I don't fight against you guys. He just slings him to the side, tells him to go. he's got to be gone because I just can't have him. He just killed some people that we didn't need to be killed. Flashback to the other side, you've got Susan Storm and Human Torch talking to Reed, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing? Why did you kill him? Why did you create this?" And it's like, Reed's like, "Look, I didn't realize he was going to do something that drastic, but it needed to be done. It needed to have a statement." Sue and Johnny are like, "No, sorry, we're not being a part of this. You've done something diabolical, and where you putting all these people you got anyway and a lot." And he was like, "Look, I found a place in the negative zone. They're going there." And she's like, no, we can't have this. We're not doing it. So them two now, Sue and Human Torch, are gone. They've just disappeared and left them. And Reed is distraught with himself, and he's like, right, we need to put a stop to this now, and we need to just get them and show them what carnage they've done. So they go to like Central Park just to draw them out and just go, look, we need to have a confrontation, need to have a word. So you bring the Secret Avengers in, bring them down. They try to have a word, but nothing happens. It all breaks loose again. The Thor killer robot has come down, and he's trying to take people out again. He's just destroying like places and stuff. This time, Hercules comes in out of nowhere, just takes him out, literally destroys the Thor killer robot. He is done. And you have the massive fight between Captain America and Iron Man. Have the big like comic book thing with his shield.
Yeah.
It has that. They have a big old fight in the middle of that lot. All of a sudden, just look up. There's a glint on one of the heroes. One of the heroes, and like it's Taskmaster up in the building. He's eyeing up a shot to try and take one of them out. All of a sudden, he shoots. Mr. Fantastic comes in the way, saves Susan Storm. They come to each other and says, "Look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. We're trying to be better people," and they console each other. They are, in a way, back together. Almost when Captain America strikes the killer blow, he sees all these paparazzi and civilians all around now watching that lot, and he's looking around realizing, right, I'm the one now that's gone too far and done too much. And I put in it because obviously I'm a big wrestling daft prat and that lot. I've put in it. He does the Shawn Michaels, looks at his hand, he's like, see all his blood, and all's like, oh, I've done too much and that lot. He gives himself up, tells others to surrender and just give up, just let them win because we've gone too far now. And he hands himself in, and then Lust having the Registration Act winning. But obviously there's heroes that don't want to go and join that registration groups. You've got Wolverine, Luke Cage, Daredevil, Spider-Man, Hercules, and Cloak. They don't want to go, so they manage to scurry off and are out of here, sort of thing. The next day, it comes up, a big press conference again and everything, denouncing S.H.I.E.L.D., saying they're all gone now, it's just not worth it because too much has happened on the old regime, all this fighting amongst themselves have come together. I'd like to now introduce you to your new Avengers and your new headquarters as this massive S.H.I.E.L.D., well, not S.H.I.E.L.D. now, Hammer helicarrier comes down from the sky, hovering over the press conference, and he goes, "Welcome to your new team." And it's obviously Norman Osborn and all his Avengers. Iron Patriot, Bullseye, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Ares is their version of Thor. You've got Miss Marvel, which is Moonstone, and you've also got the Sentry.
Oh.
And it just finishes like that. All of a sudden, your post-credit scene, Captain America is being led up these court steps, and all of a sudden, bang! Captain America is assassinated. He's lying on the steps, blood pouring out. And it just goes up, fades away. That is Avengers Civil War on my end.
Wow. Okay. That is huge. That is a packed movie. Almost like exactly like the comic too. I actually completely forgot there was a Thor robot in the book until you brought up that he kills Goliath. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I thought you were gonna set up Ragnarok, like the comic accurate Ragnarok for a
Uh,
Thor sequel. That's really cool though. I like your different take on what starts the Superhuman Registration Act. Um, it's very similar to the movies, but it's playing it safe because the way they did it in the book was very controversial.
yeah.
Um,
That's what
so
I can't be doing with the school getting blown up. I just can't be doing that. No.
yeah,
And then that's why I left in as well all the bits from the other films where like the public are getting a bit more pissed off with them. It's like, come on, you can't be doing this sort of thing. Why is all that happening sort of thing? Having the public opinion going against them as well. So I thought that'd be quite nice to tie it in sort of thing, to have that as well be another catalyst for the Registration Act.
yeah, and you've got like all the key moments like Spider-Man taking his mask off. You got him beat up in the sewers. Punisher just going out of control, killing everyone basically that he sees. Um, it's so good. And then the final fight too. I was like, you had Captain America get arrested at the end, and I was thinking, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna kill him? Post credit scene, you say he's dead, and I see that comic panel in my head with Sharon Carter over him, and he's got his arms behind his back because he's cuffed, and he's just blood pouring out of his gut. Like, if you didn't see in my Thwip Media channel, that's my number one ranked comic book in my collection for Marvel that I have. That might have changed now, but at the time that was my number one, and like it's so iconic, that moment where he gets assassinated right after Civil War. Like it takes place right after that. I'm interested to see, because you've got Bucky in this universe. I'm interested to see if he takes on the mantle, and what comes next for the I guess Avengers that kind of went into hiding after the Civil War. And also the Dark Avengers too. You've got a really cool lineup with that. I wasn't expecting Ares, and Sentry's really cool too.
I just thought it's like, when I was coming up with these and that lot, and I was like, well, I've got to have Civil War in it. I've had Secret Invasion. Like obviously in the comics, you know, it's the other way around. Civil War's first, then Secret Invasion. But I wanted it this way because I just loved obviously the Civil War comic and everything, and having that scene at the end where Captain America is dead, he's assassinated, sort of thing. Like in up to now, if I was gonna do Phase 4 and that law, I probably would have him like come back, sort of thing. But all I'm saying now is he's dead. There's Captain America's gone. He's been gutted, pretty much. And I just needed to have that scene because I just love that scene, and it was just like so hard hitting and powerful. And for me, seeing that, I was like about devastated when I read the comics, like that sort of thing. So yeah, I wanted that in there just to have that lasting image of the team split up now. They're in two different factions, but that is the last image you see of what the toll of this war's come to him, sort of thing. Having him just dead, sort of thing.
It's so cool.
So my seventh film. Now this is where I was worried that it's going to start sounding a bit filler. So I'm trying to hopefully make it sound okay, sort of thing. And this is a bit of a shorter one. So my next film is just Blade. Again, not a origin story in that lot. It's literally just him coming like to know that even though he's like I think I had him in the Registration Act. So let's just check my notes. Yeah, even though he signed up for the Registration Act, that lot, he knows that other things are going down in the dark and stuff like that sort of thing. So his main villain will be Dracula, and trying to hunt him down because he knows that even though the upper world don't know about the dark lurking stuff underneath sort of thing, he does. It's going to be rated off 18. It'll be literally his own sort of mission away from the Registration Act, so they don't know really what he's up to, even though they know that something's going down. But then after he's found Dracula and that lot, they have a big battle. Again, Dracula is he just cannot be defeated in that sort of thing. So he leaves them away. But again, where he finds Dracula, there's all these hammer boxes and stuff. And he's like, hang on a minute. He's sniffing around and he's like, no, some don't something don't smell right. Something is different about this. Something more is going on. And then they go into a post-credit scene, and you got the Cable, and the Dark Avengers talking to us, congratulating themselves, going, right, we're in control. We're in control now, but we know that we can do what we want, sort of thing. Doom's doing his own thing. We can have his back. Then Ares pipes up and goes, I'm glad we've done this, but there's something bigger going on in the cosmos. Something out there. We just need to be aware that something big's going down. I need to go and check some stuff. And it ends there, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very different for Blade going against. Well, obviously you have Dracula, but the kind of tie with Hammer at the end. Very interesting. Now, the Blade, the Wesley Snipes one, I thought it was good. But this sounds like you're going very like back to roots with Blade, like very dark. Even though the movie was a bit dark, but it was kind of silly because it was like late 90s superhero.
I did. I didn't want any of that. I wanted it just to go up, tearing. I want it similar to Deadpool, but without the lightheartedness. I want him to go in, cut, chop, kill, everything.
Like a fully serious Blade movie.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Find out his origins and what happened to his like family and stuff like that sort of thing. And he knows he's got this link to Dracula and he wants to go and find him. But then the link with Hammer and Dracula was like to say that all these villains now are being like funded and supported by Hammer and the Dark Avengers, just to go, look, you're all protected by us now. We're in control. We're the ones that we can do whatever we want, sort of thing. Yeah, so that was like
That's really cool. It's very different too, which your universe is completely different, and that's really cool about it. And like it in my head, everything seems like it's a comic book, which is what it should be. And that's very cool. How it's like you could take each one and it kind of stands on its own, but it also builds with all the other projects. I think that's really, really cool about yours.
Thank you very much. That's why I like to have them. If just somebody just saw it on their own, they can have it there as their own. It's their own story, own sort of arc. But then these little deep sort of treats I'm leaving will build up to what they know is going to happen in the end, sort of thing. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. In my next film, so the 8th film, again, not another origin story. So these origin stories are slowly disappearing now to start coming to the normal people themselves. Is The Punisher Warzone.
Ooh.
Now, again, another rated R film. Again, the main villain again will be Jigsaw in this one. And I had to, because I absolutely loved the original Punisher film. There will be an interaction with him and the Russian. And it's got to be played by Kevin Nash again. I loved that bit in the film. It's just one of the most iconic film fights I can always think about. I just loved it. And his main objective is to eliminate all the villains that have signed with the Registration Act, as well as ones that have gone in the leaky underground sort of thing. He's going to be always persistently chased after by the Dark Avengers, especially Bullseye, who is their Hawkeye. And they'll literally always try and find out where he is, where he's taken out, because obviously they're going to find dead bodies of villains and gangsters and stuff built up. Bullseye's always going to be one step behind him to try and find him. If they get to Jigsaw, they have the big gunfight with his mob bosses and him and stuff like that. He managed to subdue him, get to him, and then Jigsaw says, look, you're playing a bad hand here, because all his villains, all his baddies in one case, still, I would say, we're all being funded now by the man upstairs, by the team upstairs. So if you don't stop it now, they're going to come crashing down on you. And Punisher just says, fine. As it pans out, all you'll see on the screen will be no villain is safe while the Punisher's in town. He should have his. I know his symbol's been tainted now by
Yeah.
real life conflicts and stuff like that sort of thing. But it has to be his symbol. It has to be the Punisher symbol and that lot, and then that will just fade off. So that's my 8th film in this one. Do you think?
That's very cool. I like Punisher just going around hunting people, especially the villains. Like, it's so cool how, like, it's kind of like a side thing for him. Like, he's obviously going after the mob as his main thing, but it's like he just hunts like supervillains for fun. Like, he's just going around like, hey, which one can I get today? Like, I'm gonna go after this one, then tomorrow I'm gonna go after that one. Seems like you've got a really cool setup for Punisher going forward too. Um, One thing that comes to mind, I don't know if you've read it, but the 2015 Secret Wars. Um, as the incursion is happening between 616 and the other Earth, all the villains are gathered in a bar, and he just walks in there and he just like wipes out all of them because they're all in one spot.
I think I've seen that.
They're all in one spot, so he just kills all of them as his final moment on the planet. He's like, yeah, this is how I want to spend my final day alive. I just want to kill all the villains. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, right. I've never seen that. That's freaking brilliant. That is a lot of...
Yeah, so I think that's really cool what you got going on with Punisher kind of on his own mission, trying to get rid of the villains that were left over on the Registration Act. It's interesting seeing how, like, the MCU, obviously the Sokovia Accords carried on many movies after Civil War, and then yours is kind of doing the same thing. It's this huge ripple effect going off for the rest of the franchise, so I'm excited to see what else comes out of that.
I've always, let's say, again, I've had my top 3 heroes now in this. So it's Captain America, Deadpool, and the Punisher, and I had to have the Punisher in there somewhere because it's just one of them people that you wouldn't want to go up against anyway.
Yeah.
But also, it also is just his own boss. He'll just do what he wants, even though obviously he sees all these villains, and he's obviously seeing both sides in the Civil War recruit minor league ones, and that obviously didn't sit right with him, so just thought, no, sod it, he's going to go on a path just to clear them all out, sort of thing. And obviously that thing at the end where, no, actually something else, and they're all being powered by somebody. It's quite nice, I thought.
Yeah.
Now, my 9th film isn't on Earth. It's not here. It is Planet Hulk.
Ooh.
And again, I wanted it so similar to the comics that I wanted it as like fresh start sort of thing. So obviously, his Hulk is in this ship and that lot. He crashes on this planet called Sakaar, and he has to go into his Hulk form to stay conscious and to breathe the air and that lot. Now he gets captured and thrown into a Colosseum. Now his first opponent in this Colosseum he's going to fight is Beta Ray Bill.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
They have the big Colossus battle. Obviously, he becomes the champion, and just fight after fight after fight. He fights all these different people from that planet. Then he comes up against somebody else that's been captured there, the Silver Surfer.
Oh.
And them two have another big fight. He's still the champion and everything, but the Silver Surfer is managed to hit the Hulk's plate on his chest to break him free, so he's not tied to this Colosseum anymore. Hulk does the same to the Silver Surfer, and obviously this Hulk we're going to be able to talk a bit more and able to interact properly and have him similar to the Thor film where he's talking properly and a lot similar to that. And as the Silver Surfer is freed, they recruit Beta Ray Bill, Korg, Silver Surfer, obviously, Mika, and No Name Brood. They're all managed to escape and form their own sort of brotherhood together to escape. They're all hidden away in this village, trying to help them and survive, sort of thing. Hulk's trying to figure out a way to get back, but the planet king who puts them into this Colosseum, the Red King, sends out one of his guards, Sia, to go and fight them and to bring them back. As he's going to fight them and everything, Sia takes a load of these guards and everything like that to go to where they are. They have a big fight, but all of a sudden, the Red Hulk, the Red King, notices that they're losing. So he sends these trap spikes to come up through the village and literally destroy the village and anybody that gets in the way. Luckily enough, Hulk actually saves Sia, gets her out of the way, as well as the Brood, and they escape that village. Sia realizing that the king was the only one that could do that, and notices that he was watching all along. She switches sides and helps Hulk and the Brood, or the group, as well as them all. They go back to the Colosseum and back to where the Red King is staying and challenge him to a one-on-one duel, one-on-one fight. Obviously, Hulk has managed to win that fight and manages to kill the Red King, and he takes Sia as his queen and wife, and he becomes the ruler of that planet for months and months to come. You find out later on that he's actually got her pregnant, so he's happy with himself. Everything's going by really nice and that lot. The ship that he's come on is now a monument, a saving grace sort of thing. And the Hulk is down there, just looks at all that lot, and he notices something flashing. So he just presses it in that lot. It's a feed from this room, and it's actually them talking, and these people talking, and he realizes it's people that he knows. It's Iron Man, and there's Mr. Fantastic. And he's like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? So he presses it. They realise they're talking about how they got rid of the green guy. All of a sudden, there's this ticking countdown. All of a sudden, he runs away, charges away, tells everybody to try and get back as much as he can. And all of a sudden, the ship explodes, kills everybody in the surrounding area. Luckily enough, the people that he actually loves were in the palace, apart from Sia, who was down there with him, and she is dead. He is furious now. He goes back up to them, tells them what's happened, tells them he needs to go back to Earth because his friends, he thought, has betrayed him, and this is the whole reason why he's been brought off to here. Silver Surfer says, look, I'd love to come with you, but I need to go away. My boss is hunting around, and I need to go and find out what he's up to and where he is. So he goes away. Beta Ray Bill says, look, something's stirring up in the place that I live as well. I need to go back and talk to some friends back there. He goes away. So Hulk and his remaining warbound managed to fix a ship up together that the Red King had at his palace, and they got onto the ship and head back to Earth. There's no post-credit scene. All it says is the Hulk is coming, and then World War Hulk coming soon. And that's it for that one.
Very nice. That's, again, completely different from anything that I would have expected going into this phase, because obviously you set that up at the beginning. But that is very different to be the, like, one of... Wait, this was number 9, right?
Yep.
So...
You got two films left.
I'm assuming this is your final event. That's very interesting to choose that. But I think that's cool. It's like very, again, you've like really leaned into the comic, with the very like contained Hulk story on Sakaar. He doesn't really interact with anyone else except for that little group he's stuck with. I think that's really cool. And then, I don't know if you're setting it up, but a certain child that Hulk might have. I don't know if you've got that set up, but yeah, I think that's cool. I think Hulk deserves that kind of project in the MCU. He's kind of been pushed to the side for too long. I think he deserves a movie like that. And obviously you kind of get that in the MCU with Ragnarok, how he's already on Sakaar. He's the Gladiator Hulk, but I'd like to see if they actually adapt this event in some way. And I like how yours is so accurate to the comic. Yeah, and I'm excited to see what he does on Earth with the rest of the heroes.
That's what I thought. I just thought if I was going to continue this on, obviously, yes, 100%, his son would be coming sooner or later, and obviously World War Hulk as well. Again, another comic book series that I absolutely adore, and just seeing him so furious and betrayed by them all, I just thought that's really a nice sort of inkling to go, look, this phase is slowly going, and it's going to accumulate soon, but stick around for later on phases because more shit is hitting the fan sort of thing.
Yeah, it's also interesting how you take like one of Marvel's most popular heroes and make them the villain. That's really cool.
Just, just really nice.
Yeah.
Right, so in my 10th film, this one is Thor: War of the Realms.
Okay.
Now, again, this will be more on Thor's side, so you won't have Donald Blake. He's literally just milling around, but it's going to be on more Thor's side. He's going to be interacting more with Heimdall, Odin, Boulder the Brave, the Warriors 3, as well as Valkyrie and Beta Ray Bill. Now, Malekith will be the main villain working with Loki to destabilize Asgard. And Malekith is going to be sending assassins to Asgard as well as disrupting all of the other 9 realms to try and draw out Thor and his heroes, sort of thing. As he's doing this and he's sending them all out, sort of thing, he manages to injure and almost kill Valkyrie. So they bring her back to Asgard to try and heal her up and make sure she's going to be okay and everything. And then while their guard's down, because nobody's really, they think they'll be able to settle all the quarrels in the 9 realms, Malekith is able to invade Asgard with help of Loki, getting him there. And obviously they have a massive battle with Beta Ray Bill, Warriors 3 and everybody. And in Asgard, they manage to thwart off and get rid of Malekith, but before they can capture Loki, he escapes. Now Thor, knowing that when Loki's on the loose, he could be anywhere, and he wants to know that his human side as well as his godly side are more closer together. So what he does is he brings, with the power he's got, brings Asgard to Earth and has Asgard literally flying above a desert in Texas. And that'll be the end of that. You have a post-credit scene. Norman Osborn is talking to the president and his higher-ups with Hammer agents, noticing Asgard is there. And he's like, right, Mr. President, these are not part of the Superior Registration Act. These need to be brought in line. These are a foreign body on American soil. And the president's like, no, we need to talk to him first and everything. Osborn's like, no, I'm taking my full force, my whole might to there to bring them in line. This will not go untolerated. And it just ends there.
I think that's very interesting. As soon as you said Malekith, I was like, oh god. I was like, he's so bad in the MCU. He's like so forgettable and he was not done properly, but I can't see how anything could be worse than that. So I think he's a really interesting choice because he is, I guess he's not really a popular Thor villain, but he's one of the main ones he goes against. And then bringing Loki back into it as well, I think it's essential how he has to play a part in some way. The Thor and Beta Ray Bill team up, that's something that is really cool because that's something I've wanted to see in live action. It's happened in the comics a bunch of times and cartoons. And yeah, I just think that's really cool. And you've built such a big Asgard like team. Like you have Balder the Brave, you still have the Warriors 3, Valkyrie, Odin, like all of them, Heimdall. And the MCU missed out on bringing Balder the Brave in. I think they could have done a lot more with the Thor side of the MCU if they brought him in, because he's basically, I guess Thor's a bit more powerful than him, but he's still a really good character. And I think it would be interesting to see if Chris Hemsworth is done as the character, if they bring Balder in and he kind of carries on the Asgardian side of the MCU. So I think it's cool you bringing him into this universe. What else? The setup at the end with Osborn too. I'm interested to see what comes with that because obviously you got one more left, so I'm interested to see how they play into what I'm assuming is the big event that you mentioned before.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I say I've always liked to see the big variety of cast you can have for Asgard and stuff like that. So having Boulder the Brave in there, having Beta Ray Bill and that lot, it's just characters I love to actually see on the big screen.
Yeah.
And they're characters in the comics that are quite like very interesting to read about and see their stories and stuff like that. So it's really good. I was just disappointed not to see more of them. Like you had Beta Ray Bill's skull on the side of the tower in Thor, but you can never seen him. It was like, come on, he's there for a reason.
There's so many characters on that tower that they could have introduced. Like even Man Thing is on that. Yeah. And he was in Werewolf by Night, and then I'm pretty sure Ares was on that too.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was him or not, but I weren't too sure. But yeah, it was just so frustrating. I could have done so much more with that film, but obviously they did not. But yes, anyway, right. This is it. This is the last one, and this one is called Avengers Disassemble. And this is just going to be a massive, all-out, literally going to be an action-packed, one-band sort of thing. The lines are drawn now. The Hammer helicarrier is flying towards Asgard, and it'll have all of his Dark Avengers on it, as well as the Cable. So you've got Namor on it, you've got Doom on it, you've got Emma Frost, Loki, the Hood, Taskmaster. They're all on the helicarrier, all going towards Asgard. Asgard has a massive tannoid out, going, look, you've got an hour to comply with the Superior Registration Act, or we will not be tolerated for the actions that we will come and we will bring onto you. All you just hear is a big booming voice of Odin saying no. So they go back down, they come together sort of thing. All the Dark Avengers have come together and talk about the plans of what they're going to do in that lot, and they set up like a hit squad of where they want to go sort of thing. So you'd have Hawkeye, Bullseye working with Moonstone, walking to one side. They'll have the Sentry in the back saying he's got to wait until the final whistle to go. You'll have Dakin and Spider-Man together saying you're going to be like the first hit squad to go in with us. Iron Patriot's going to lead the charge. Ares is going to be there waiting around, ready to go when he needs to be called. And as that heads out, they'll start having these news reports and news cameras all just watching what's going off sort of thing. On these news cameras, you see, it goes to another screen. It's the Outcast Avengers just looking there, watching, going, right, okay, something big's going to happen now. We need to get down there and help. They get Cloak to transport them and teleport them to Asgard. Before they can do this, though, all of a sudden you hear a familiar voice. That lot. It is Booker. And now he's in his friend's uniform. He's the new Captain America, saying, Cap will want to see him go like this. I'm coming with you. So he gets transported there, all the Secret Avengers transported to the place. Loki now transports himself into Asgard, skulking around, trying to destabilize it. Takes Heimdall's sword away from him while he's not noticing. So the Bifrost is gone, so they can't call any more reinforcements in. And he's skulking around, trying to find out other ways to knock down the defenses. They realise that the Avengers are there. So he panics, goes back to Osborn and everything, goes and tells them, look, they're there. The Avengers, the Secret Avengers are there. We need to hit them now before the hour's up to make sure that they can't catch us by surprise. So, right, that's fine then. Let's go. So they send the whole force of everybody in. Doom, Emma Frost, Daken, all the Avengers, everybody goes straight in and starts wreaking havoc among Asgard. Obviously, Thor, Beta Ray Bill, Boulder the Brave, they're all fighting back, all trying to protect Asgard. As this all is happening, that lot, Ares is looking on, he's like, hang on a minute, I didn't think we were going to kill people. I thought we were just going to try and subdue them and stop them and trying to get them to reason. He goes straight for Osborn, grabs him and goes, look, this wasn't part of the plan. I didn't think we was going to kill. I thought we was going to just stop them and try and make them join us. At this point, he orders the Sentry to come along, literally grabs Ares side by side behind him, just rips him apart. Ares is gone, torn in half. As more news reports see this. Sees Ares, part of these Avengers, gets ripped up and they're fighting amongst themselves. The president orders his military and everybody to, right, go there and stop Osborn and these Avengers. He's gone too far. We will not have killing on American soil. When I told him originally not to go and get him and kill them, I told him to talk to them. Iron Man, still with people higher up, and he's still technically on the payroll of the government, even though he got knocked back and all his power taken away from him, sort of thing, of like with S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff. Him and a group of registered heroes still notice what's going off and then wants to go and help. So you have Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, Human Torch, The Thing, who wants to just go after Doom because he's seen him fly around and causing havoc. Black Widow, Ant-Man, She-Hulk, and Deadpool. They all see all this happening. They go together to go and fight alongside Captain America and the other Avengers. They get there. They're all fighting amongst themselves. Oh, no, before they get there, sorry, you see Captain America beating Iron Patriot to a pulp, almost killing him. And then Osborn, out of nowhere, just do it to Sentry. Sentry flies right through the middle of Asgard. Asgard comes crumbling down. Asgard is no more. Just as the other registered heroes come to, they see this, and they go, right, hang on a minute, this is bad, this is just wrong. So Iron Man goes over to Osborn and he's found Captain America still holding him in all the rubble and everything. He calls his armor back because obviously now he's got the extremist serum and he's able to command armor that used to be his. Calls that back, and on Osborn's face, as he's on the floor, is a painted face of the Green Goblin on him. He's twitching and he's talking to himself in Green Goblin's voice. Spider-Man, still with the Secret Avengers, just knocks him out. But then all of a sudden, they all look up and notice that something's wrong with the Sentry. He starts twisting and like morphing, and he becomes this giant entity. He's now the Void. Osborn looks up, sort of half dazed, and goes, "You don't know what you've done. You thought my group was bad. You haven't seen nothing yet." Loki, realizing that the Void is there and he's going to like consume everything, destroy everything, starts giving powers to both sets of the Avengers, the Secret Avengers as well as the registration ones. Gives him some of his powers to make them stronger and have more of a chance against this behemoth of a thing. Doom and Emma Frost, noticing that things have gone south and bad, they disappear and they teleport away, vowing revenge on the Avengers. As the Void notices Loki's giving the Avengers powers and is obviously fighting back against the Void goes to Loki and again just rips him apart. Loki is now dead, as well as Ares. Thor, seeing that Loki sacrificed himself, giving all these powers, and then gets killed, gets absolutely enraged. Thunderbolt after thunderbolt, lightning after lightning, all the Avengers coming together and not kicking the hell out of the Void. They manage to subdue him enough to go back to the Sentry, and the Sentry just looks at him and just goes, "Just kill me, take me out. I need to go. I've destroyed this great place. I don't know what I've done to myself, and I need your help." Regrettably, Thor agrees and strikes him down with the most powerful lightning bolt you can see, striking him there. Again, Sentry is just bone. He flies off to the sun just to throw the Sentry into the sun, and he's gone. While they do that, all these Avengers go around starting arresting the Dark Avengers. So Daken gets arrested as well as Bullseye, and obviously some of the other ones, obviously Doom and Emma Frost, get away, as well as Namor. And you go back to the president in New York, denounces everything that has just happened. The Superhero Registration Act is no more, and the Avengers, as well as the Secret Avengers, as well as the Registration Avengers, come back and mourn for their lost brethren, as well as the as well as the Guardians, all come at Stark Tower, mourn for their lost brethren, but also celebrate the fact that the Registration Act is no more. In a post-credit scene, you just see Thor, Iron Man, as Bucky, as new Captain America, just saying the new age of superheroes is upon us. All hail the new Avengers. And it ends like that for my phase 3.
That is a very, very interesting finale. I haven't read the Avengers Disassembled book myself. I don't know how
this
close
the point.
it is.
This is the point. I took the Avengers Disassembled name from that, but the story is actually based on the Siege of Asgard.
Okay.
So it's not actually the Avengers Disassembled one. I've just took that name because I didn't want it just to be Avengers Siege of Asgard. I wanted it to have the power of them literally disassembling the Registration Act as well as the Dark Avengers, and everything's just being disassembled to be brought back at the end to say these are your new Avengers going forward, sort of thing. So the name has got completely nothing to do with that comic book series. The comic book series is called Siege, but I just liked the name. I just thought that name would be really strong and powerful to go up with the film itself.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, that's really cool. You've got so many characters in it. Obviously, giant battles in it as well. I think having the Sentry become the surprise threat at the end, I think that's really cool. Obviously, we're supposed to get him in the Thunderbolts movie. Who knows if that actually happens, because Stephen Yeun dropped out of the role, so who knows if they're still continuing with that. But yeah. I think that's really cool with the Dark Avengers, the Cable, the Avengers, all having to, kind of come together and take down the Void, and then Doctor Doom and Emma Frost escape. I'm assuming if you continued this, you'd have them still kind of working in the background. And I like the setup. It's like you don't explicitly name who's joining the new age of heroes. You just say, this is the start of a new beginning, and then that's how it ends. I think that's really cool. That's, again, very similar to how mine ends. It's like the heroes have all come together. The threat is gone. If they need to come together again, this is like they all know who to talk to and where to go. So I think that's really cool setup for the next phase if you were to do it. And yeah, well done.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, I've been panicking about this one for donkeys and that lot. But yeah, that's another comic book series that I absolutely adore, and it is like the cumulative climax of actually the Dark Avengers as well. So I thought, well, I've got to have that in there as like the Cable gets disassembled in it, because obviously they're just running amok and gone. The Dark Avengers get destroyed pretty much and taken apart as well, and it's just really nice to have that as my final piece as well in this, because to me, I know, like I was worried about like Deadpool and Blade and all them lot just feeling a bit of filler ones, but having the Thor War of the Realms and then this one after each other, it just blended quite nicely. It just sort of flowed, I was hoping. So yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm worried but proud. So
yeah, I think yours is very unique. Like, you've adapted so many comic events. I think that's really cool. Obviously, you have clear inspiration, and I'm interested to see if you end up talking about those in a future comic stream that we do.
Yep.
But yeah, very well done. That was very exciting to go through the whole process with you of doing both of our franchises. So that's the end of that, unless we choose to go back to that at some point. But for now, that's the end of the new Marvel franchises. That took a lot of work too. That was a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have to agree with yourself that if we tried to put that into one stream, we'd probably only we're finishing mine now, an hour and 20 into it, and we'll just be starting onto yours. So yeah, splitting them off into two was a very good idea. But yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm glad. I've put so much time in it, and I've mixed stuff around, and yeah, I'm glad it's done, but I'm happy with it as well, sort of thing. So yeah. But again, a series, like you said as well, all throughout my 3 phases, comic books have had a very big factor in my sort of side and origins and stuff like that sort of thing. So yeah, when we do, obviously it won't be next week. Next week we're going to have a live stream of talking about our thoughts about Echo as well as What If Season 2. So join us for that live stream next week. But the week after, all going well, what's the date week after? because
That'd be
yeah,
February
it's fine.
1st? No, 7th. February
No,
7th.
7th, because we won't be able to do one on the 14th because I'm going to get a 10 a.m. showing for Madam Web. So.
Oh, you're going to see that?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's Marvel. I've got to see. I've got to just
okay.
see what the hell it's all about. So,
Okay.
yeah, 14th of February, Valentine's Day. My Valentine's Day is booked. So I'm going to see a film. But yeah, so there'll be no live stream then. But yeah, the 7th we'll have our comic book live stream, and obviously on the 31st we'll have the What If and Echo season review one talk about. But yeah, I can't wait to the comic book one. I'm gonna have like a
Yeah.
box and a half full of
You
comics
see
to
that
show you.
whole shelf back
Yeah.
there? There's like 2 full like sides of it, so I'm excited to pull some of that out and share some of my inspiration and some of the things I love.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to talking to you about some of the inspiration for obviously Civil War and Secret Invasion. You got
Yeah,
that
of
there and that
course.
last year.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to talking to you about them and why it inspired me so much. So yeah, I'll leave it here. Then I'd like to say thank you very much, obviously, for Dynamite Harry for leaving his comment, and we'll get him on the channel to have a chat with him about Marvel and stuff soon. Nate for always being a source of inspiration because it was your idea to come and do this. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Check his channel out; it's absolutely fantastic. Some of the stuff he does and presentations and everything's just amazing.
Thank
So
you.
go and check Nate out. Thwip Media as well as Nate's his own channel. Sorry, but yeah, go and check them out. And yeah, just like to say thank you very much. And see you next week for our What If and Echo Season 2. Echo and What If Season 2 review. So yeah, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed our Marvel films. Hope they surprised you with some of them, because I definitely with some of Nate's ones he did, and I hope I surprised him with some of the stuff I did. So yeah, just like to say thank you very much, and goodbye. And I'll see you on another episode in Marvel Mad and Nate's channel and live stream. So, yeah, thank you very much, and